Welcome back to this next session of the A4Q Testing Summit 2026, and a warm welcome to Barış Sarıalioğlu. I'm so happy that you are here.
Thank you, Richard.
I'm a big fan, so
to share the stage with you.
Okay. But now it's your stage, and I'm a big fan because you have so much intelligent things to say and a lot of experience. You are founder of Tester.U. You have decades of experience in software testing and so on. And so I'm happy that you are now here. And your topic will be From Algorithms to Culture, Redefining Quality in the Age of AI. So a very interesting, up-to-date topic too. But before we start, for the audience, if you like Barış's speech as much as I will, you can vote here for him for the Best Speaker, Best Presentation Award. Just click the QR code and copy it, and then you can vote there. And also, please use the chat for questions, and we will get in with them answering at the end of the speech. And now, Barış, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Richie, for the warm welcome and welcome to everyone. So, I gone through the conference agenda, and I see many sessions around AI, and people are talking about it from many different perspectives. Now is my time to give you my own perspective. I'm running it in couple of different countries and having nice feedback on that. Of course, I would be curious to see what questions you have, what points you are making. So please open to highlight anything from my session. Okay, so let me start softly by telling you that we are digitizing the world. So the pace of digitalization is quite fast, and no one can even stop it. So just to give you some numbers, I think from the World Economic Forum and from some Gartner reports, around $2.8 trillion are being spent on digitalization by the companies, which is around 90% of the whole companies in all around the world are in a way or so doing digitalization. It means that we will be having more and more software. We are digitizing different industries, different domains, one after each other. But in the in the late couple of years, let me say, we are not only digitizing those systems like we were doing before, but we are changing their nature. So it means that, what I have been taught, I think with my 25 years of experience, I was very confident on the deterministic part of the software. We've been taught about it in the university, so that a software could be taking several inputs under some initial state. If then you are going to expect some output. So that is what we call a deterministic system, is more or less a rule-based world where we have all those if, while, for, then, switch, repeat, until, whatever those kind of objects in the software. But now we are on the probabilistic world. Now we are living in a world where the same input would give you different outcome, so that we are never sure what is going to come from a software which is, of course, developed with the sense of AI, artificial intelligence. So we are in the probabilistic world. What is the main difference for us, for testers? Of course, the quality characteristics are changing. So I think this slide is, capturing it quite well. That on the left-hand side, we have the software quality characteristics starting from functionality. Then we have efficiency, performance, compatibility, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and portability, which are I think for us makes a lot of sense. We have been through them all those years. We have been testing them all those years, and we are very used to playing with those quality characteristics. This is our playground for many years. Currently, we have probabilistic systems. It doesn't mean that the system, the current software is only probabilistic. Some part is still deterministic. So basically, we are using hybrid systems, as you all know. But again, these quality characteristics are a little bit short. They are not enough to fulfill the need of the probabilistic world. That is why we have more and more quality characteristics. Now we need to test the adaptability of an AI system. Now we need to test the autonomy of an AI system. Now we need to test the evolution of the artificial intelligence system, whether it could evolve in time based on accuracy, based on precision, based on timing, and so on. Of course, bias and also ethics are, maybe you could take them as some social concerns. Until this point, we have not involved them into our test plan actually. So whether the software is ethical or the outcome is biased or whatever, because in the end, human beings were in the loop fully, and the systems are, in a way, the humans are deciding on the outcome, and they are in full charge. But in the AI world, we know that we are now we have less and less control on those systems. So it means that they need to be checked and verified and validated on the bias part, which could be coming from an algorithm, so that it could be an algorithmic bias, or it could be a sample bias coming from the data, and it could turn out to be something bad for the people, for the community, for fairness, for keeping the all those social aspects in life in a high level, so that the inclusivity, those the software that we are using is not favoring in some minorities or in favoring in some parts, so that the gender inclusivity, diversity, and those kind of things. So fairness, freedom, and such kind of outcomes could be tested also. And also, maybe for a very long time, we were testing systems, and we were checking the inputs and outputs, but with AI systems, we need to check the way that we are reaching to the outcomes. It means that maybe there would be a reward hacking, maybe there would be a side effect. So if you just give your autonomous car a target to get you to your home in 15 minutes, where it is normally 30 minutes, maybe in the end the car accomplished the task and it was quicker than before, but in the end, maybe there are some side effects on the road. Maybe you affected other people, or maybe you, because of the crazy autonomous car, maybe some people were not comfortable, even they could have some accidents, whatever. So those side effects and reward taking part should also be tested. And maybe finally, the last three of them would be coming as a combo, so that what I see with the new AI systems is that their transparency is very limited. So they are basically, we can call them as a black box. We don't know what's inside. We don't know what outcome is coming, where the data is coming, how those systems are trained, how they are reaching the outcomes. So in a way, those systems are not very explainable, not very interpretable. So there are so many different quality characteristics to consider. Yeah. Okay, we are living in a world like that. I am a guy who also likes numbers. That is why I want to give you some numbers in testing. So in the entire world, yeah, if I start with software developers, there are around 27 to 30 million developers, and there are around 7 to 8 million testers. Some of them are certified, some of them are not. But in the end, we are a very, very big community. And the budget, the test budget, if you ask me, it's half of the project budget. But if you ask it to a project manager or a project sponsor, they would never accept it. They would tend to squeeze it till 20%. But normally, in every project, in the end, it turns out to be around 40 to 50. Yeah, whether you fight against it, whatever you do, we got the budget. And also is a very growing economy. Compound annual growth rate is around 10% per year, which is great. And also we know that still there are many bugs in the world. So because of the outages of the global 2000 companies, they were, in a way, their costs are $400 billion more. So they are because of the downtime, because of the bugs, basically. So it is more or less around 10% of their profits are gone because they are not, putting enough attention to quality. Okay, so what about the testing zone? So if we check the testing zone, we see that automation is heavily used. AI-powered solutions are, more than half of the teams are using those AI-powered solutions. Around 70 to 80% of testers are using those Gen AI solutions like ChatGPT, Cloud, Copilot, Perplexity, whatever, those kind of things. And the very big question is whether we are moving towards a less buggy world. I don't know, but the test cases are passing more and more. Maybe because that we have more test cases, we are heading towards coverage like hell, I don't know. But in the end, the pass rates are increasing. I don't know, because that maybe we are developing the software with an AI augmentation so that there will be less bugs. But I don't buy those things. Mostly, if you ask me, my philosophy here is more or less bugs per lines of code remaining the same for the last 25 years, let me say. Okay, so what I want to talk about is we are living in a world where the companies are fully calling themselves digital. So maybe if you go through the top 10 companies in the American Stock Exchange, in Stanley & Poor or Nasdaq or other stock exchanges, you see that there were pharmaceutical companies, there were energy, fuel oil, food, nutrition companies, and so on. But in the latest years, you are not seeing any other companies than digital companies. This is also, the software is spreading like hell. Intel, for instance, their CEO says that we are a software company. Then I checked NVDA, they called themselves a software company as well. Then I move on and check others, and even McDonald's is telling that they are a technology company that happens to sell burgers. Even Starbucks is telling that they are a digital customer platform. So in a world like that, I think it means that every company is doing software projects with AI, so that with AI, standard quality control and project management is not enough. So normally when we manage a project, we tend to put focus on budget, time, quality, scope. Yes, but now people are expecting innovation. People means project sponsors. People means users, end users, customers. People means even the developers. So if they are applying to a company and they see that the company is not using some creative, innovative solutions, they are not touching to the next generation stuff, they don't accept those job offers. So basically, everyone, all the stakeholders are expecting innovation. So if you put emphasis on innovation that much, then you have the chaos. It means that there is the report, chaos report. So from Standish Group, it tells us that, around from more than 100 countries in the world, more than 20,000 people tend to say that 1/3 of those people say that those projects are canceling, half of them are over budget, 65% are not successful, and around 90% say we are delivering late. So then, yeah, we are living in a world like that. So how can we look at this picture from our perspective? So these are the problems that I am facing with as a software engineer, as a tester in the field for around 25 years. What I see is nowadays we are testing features but not decisions. So are we making better decisions? I don't think so. So yeah, we are testing features but not enough the decisions. We are measuring our coverage in every occasion but not our confidence on the system. So that is another problem I'm seeing. Also, test automation is growing with a very high pace, but I don't think if our understanding is growing like that. I don't think so. Testing, if you ask me, what is the basic definition for testing is understanding, if you ask me. You need to, it's not breaking the software, it's not just finding bugs, but is an understanding on the system under test, on the all the topology, so all the interfaces. So if your understanding is becoming better and better with testing, then you are in a good position. If not, they are just numbers, if you ask me. Data is one big thing. Currently, we are living in a big data world, but experts say that around 20% of the data is being used on decision making. So it means that many of the bigger percentage of the data is either incomplete, could be biased, should be tested among those, or could be misunderstood, could not be centrally managed. So data governance projects are very important. They are very boring also, but no one really cares about their data. So it's a very underestimated area. Yeah, I can say that test data management is more or less the same. So still we are detecting the bugs late. Why? Because we don't push enough attention to root causes. So because that mostly we find bugs, we report bugs, we fix bugs, but we don't, when the time comes to understand something and learn from the bugs, we are failing in that part. Okay, we are finding our bugs late or early, whatever, but in the end, why do we report the bugs? In order to have a better understanding, in order to not to do the same failure again and again. So you need to learn from them. You need to understand the clustering of the bugs. You need to understand the root causes. I don't think we are in a good position in that part. Yeah, we are fixing the bugs crazily, but our understanding is not enough. So again, a software development team consisting of different people, developers, designers, analysts, testers. I cannot say that they are always having a common goal. So for some of them, usability is the risk. For some of them, security is the risk. For some of them, evolution is the risk. For some of them, bias is the risk. So the alignment between those people are missing from my perspective, from what I have seen. And also we need to know that AI systems are behaving really differently in production. So normally we tend to say that test environment is supporting the test process. So test environments are very crucial parts of any test process. But in AI, they are even more crucial. So in an AI system, your test environment is your testing, basically. It is not just supporting your test, is basically the definition of testing. So that environment should be very correlated to the production environment based on the data, based on everything, based on edge cases and so on. I don't think we have that value, that quality in our test environments as well. yeah, so we are looking for speed, we are looking for our deadlines, we want to catch our deadlines, but speed and quality moves not in the same direction always, so they are contradicting each other. If you optimize always for speed, then you compromise on quality. That is how it is. So we need to fix that as well. And also, again, as a summary, we need to improve our understanding, not just testing the systems. So, from that perspective, what should be the strategy? Okay, I don't want to talk about those stuff one by one, but I want to tell you that, yeah, we need to deliver value with testing. We need to think big. We need to have a big target, but we need to test small so that we need to learn fast. Also, we need to, yeah, for learning, you need to optimize for learning, but not only for efficiency. You need to learn from production behavior, especially in AI systems production. Testing in production is also important. You cannot test everything in a simulated environment. You may use a production environment for testing. Maybe that was a big thing for testing for many years, because we tend to say that do not test in production, but currently how not to. So you need to test in production also. Yeah, again, not to over specify things, not to do over documentation, but to do experimentation, but time boxing your exploration also. And you need to prepare yourself for uncertainty. So in order to do that, I think there are many skills for the testers in the current world. So as testers, what skills we need to have? This is my short list. Yeah, let me tell you, it is a short list. Yeah, it is like a comb shape career pattern. So we need to have an understanding of basically everything, including the social aspects, including the yeah. It's like we need to use our left and right brain. We need to use the analytical skills. We need to understand mathematics, statistics with the AI world, of course. Also, we need to have the testing skills. We need to learn AI. We need to learn machine learning and so on. So skills we need to improve skills. Maybe you have read the latest Anthropic report from talking about the near future labor force. I think AI is capable of doing almost everything in software development and testing, more or less. So, but that is theoretically. Practically, there is a lot of gap. But again, it goes to that part. So that is the flow. You cannot stop it. In the end, we created a weapon that attacks us the first. So yeah, of course, AI, we can use it very much in software development and testing, and how not to use it. But in the end, in a world like that, it says in the Anthropic report that if you are above 40 years and if you have a master's degree and if you are certified, then you have a risk in your job. I don't know. I think that fits to me very much. I'm not a young guy, so I'm above 40. I have master's, PhD, whatever. I have all those certifications, and I think, yeah, that puts me in danger. So yeah, we need to learn new things. We need to apply continuous learning. And for sure, in a world like that, we are talking about many different things in testing. So let me show you my list. Of course, I won't keep you here for a long time to understand those things. But yeah, again, what we do, we try to use AI in testing so that AI would be creating our test plans, generating our test cases, healing, fixing our broken tests, creating our test data. That part, yes, but also we need to keep humans in the loop so that we will be uh, in the end making decisions with human power. In the end, there is explainability when it comes to the human beings. The transparency part, they need to be tested, maybe not by AI itself. So ethical bias testing maybe could be some part, could be our issue to cover. But in the end, there are many things in testing that we are currently talking about. So we are using all those next generation processes to fulfill our testing. But yeah, again, I think in one of my latest sessions, I talked about quantum automation. So because until now, but for me, again, using AI in testing is not a big issue. I think currently more or less everyone is using AI in testing. For me, the biggest issue is testing an AI system. So it means that you need to do a paradigm shift. You need to, because in an AI system, which is a probabilistic system, your test cases are not passing or failing. You are on a fuzzy world, so that you need to have a confidence outcome. So you need to tell me what percent of accuracy you are willing to achieve, not that your tests are passing or failing. So in a world like that, it is like quantum superposition, where you have multiple states at the same time. So you may never conclude that a test is passing or failing in an AI system. So that you need to be ready for those probabilistic outcomes. You need to ready for those for the adaptive intelligence. You need to understand the systems well. So that is why, again, in the new world, if you ask me, testing is uncertainty management rather than designing test cases or managing our test plans or scripts or executing our tests. Because in the deterministic world, we tend to say that, yeah, the more tests you do, if you are selecting them smartly, then you are in a better shape. But we know that exhaustive testing is impossible, so we do selective testing. But if you have smart test cases to run, then it's good to run them. But in an AI system, if you are testing an AI system, you may even trigger the system to alter its how can I say, learning. So with running a test more and more times, that could even change the system's behavior, because that you are running more and more tests. Maybe your system is learning from your tests and behaving differently, which is not a desired case in the AI system world. So the thinking is quite different when we move ourselves to testing an AI system. Maybe we should not run a test case, even we have time for it. But if we run the test case, that could influence our system under test, and that could not be a desired case. Whatever. So in the end, so I end up coming to a philosophy from my own thinking. I like those stuff to consolidate the learnings and key takeaways. So this is my temple in the end. So we need to move from verification to intelligence. It means that, yeah, the basis of the temple is culture. We know it. So without culture, nothing is possible. Then comes the processes, organization, structure, roles and responsibilities, technologies and standards. Of course, on the top of it, you need to have a very proper data with high quality. Then you have a very, very solid test environment that is managed, either with simulators, emulators, either with digital twins, whatever, those kind of technologies. And then on the top of it, you have a solid testware. It means that your test design, your test cases, your test assets should be there. And on the top, you have the AI augmentation. So if you have everything solid, and on the top, if you use AI augmented testing, then you could be in a good position in a world like that. So I want to keep some time for my friend Richie to ask questions, or maybe I can ask him some questions. I don't know. Let's see. We will chat with him. But yeah, hopefully what I have here is, yeah, Richie, please stay here. But yeah, this is my final slide to show you my understanding, the 10 laws of software testing. Of course, it is triggered from the ISTQB principles. It is triggered from different books, different resources. But this is my understanding: is quality is a business outcome, is not a test activity. So we tend to mix those things, but quality should be concerned by the CEO and owner of the company first, then should flow to me. That is very important, and I don't feel it very well. And quality, of course, is not delegated to someone, is distributed. Of course, you know it. For me, certainty in the current world is an illusion. You can never achieve it with an AI system. Also, we already know that zero bug is still an hallucination. So certainty is the same. And yeah, testing is, of course, I think that is a common sense right now, not to find bugs, but to build confidence, but to have more understanding. Also, we want to yeah, shift it left, right, up, down, whatever, but we need to keep it continuous. Even after the production, even after the launch of the product, we keep on doing it. But you need to also know that it is never infinite. You need to keep it finite. That is continuous, but doesn't mean that it is infinite. So that could be time boxed in a way. Automation accelerates, but if your decisions are bad, then you are accelerating your bad decisions. So you need to keep humans to interpret things. We know that data is driving testing, but is never replaces our judgment. That is also another part. And when it comes to measurement, if you ask me, I like measurement, I like metrics, I like KPIs. I teach them to people. There are many, many, many KPIs and metrics, very valuable. But you know what we mostly measure? We mostly measure things that are making us comfortable, that makes us, smiling. I'm very happy with our metrics in automation. Yeah, if you are very happy with your metrics from your testing, then maybe you are not measuring the right thing. Am I right? So if the numbers are very nice on the slide, on the dashboard, look how nice are the numbers. Yeah, I agree. But in the end, measurement is, not pushing you to the comfort zone. Measurement is done to drive improvement. So it needs to tell you some uncomfortable things. It needs to tell you what is missing, what is lacking. So that is, I think, the main idea within in measurement. We measure like hell, but we don't improve in the same pace. Let me say, this is what I see. And testability, we teach it to testers, but it needs to be taught to developers, to designers, to project managers, to everyone, product owners, product management teams. Yes, testability is a life concern. If I say my wife, I love you, she says, how much? Or I want to test it. Still, love, passion, whatever, those kind of things are even testable. They need to be tested. So you need to keep everything testable. That is very important. It's not a testing task at all. And of course, we are testing like hell. We are creating reports every night and day. Finally what happens? A user comes, downloads your product, uses it the first time, and says, it's a shitty product, I don't like it. So in the end, this is the final report. This is the final quality report you have, which is not a quantitative report, by the way, which is a purely qualitative and emotional report. But this is the reality. So you need to know that quality is, whether you declare it internally within the teams, within the departments, within the IT, within whatever, but in the end, it is externally judged. We need to know that. So that would be my last points, Richie, sorry to hold you here. Maybe I can give people some books to read.
Sure.
And while this is on the page, we can have a chat for our last 5-10 minutes. And I know that you are also talking in those dimensions, and I have attended your talks as well. Yeah, so let's chat.
Yeah. It's great to hear. Thank you so much, Barış. The technique put me a little bit early on the stage. So, and I imagined if we had a live conference and minutes before the end, someone sits next to the speaker on the stage, it would be a funny situation.
For me, it's good that I see your face, you smile, you give me some, feedback. That would be, for me, in an online session, that would be nice. So
So and I've now the front row watching your show. So it was great. Yeah, thank you very much, Barış. I really great insight, and yes, totally aligns also with my what I think is very important for us as testers for the future now. And I think we have some questions here. We can go through. So the first one is, if AI can generate tests, what remains unique human in software testing?
Okay, very nice. AI could not only generate tests, but also, review our tests, update our test plans, can do around 95% of the things that we are currently doing. So what remains uniquely human is the final accountability, if you ask me, or the final understanding, if you ask me, and giving the AI direction, if you ask me. So currently, all of us are using some kind of a Gen AI tool, am I right? But those Gen AI tools are good in a way that you are good in prompting them, am I right? So if you use them in a proper way, if you guide them in a proper way, if you are on the control, and if you just know what you are doing, then the outcome would be very nice, very promising, and very solid. So that is, I think, what we need to do. So we need to drive it. We need to drive the car. So we are still on the steering wheel, if you ask me. We show the guidance. We put some highlight on some area. We want to set a strategy. We want to make a decision. This is where we are staying. But if you look at the repetitive, redundant, shallow part of testing, that's all gone. So they don't need a human being to do those things. But still, if you ask me, there are many value added things that we are having in testing, that we are adding to testing. So that is where we are going to be, if you ask me.
Yeah, totally agree. Thank you. Let's look at the next question we have. Are we moving toward autonomous quality engineering or simply augmenting human testers? Oh, it's an interesting question.
Yeah, more or less. When I was in a development conference, I asked people which one is feasible. Codeless coding, testless quality. So this was my question. And of course, because that it is a development conference, they said, yeah, testless quality, they said. When I'm in a test conference, people say that, of course, codeless development is of course, that is feasible. Testless quality, no. So, yeah, autonomous quality engineering. Of course, we are already there, if you ask me. I cannot say that we are in a position where we are simply augmenting. It is not a simple augmentation. It is a huge augmentation, if you ask my position. So I see a lot, more than 80% of testers are using those solutions. It means that we are all augmenting our decisions and way of working. But yeah, autonomous quality engineering, I never say never, because we are in a software world. So I never say that there will be human testers forever. I won't say that. I even posted on social media. I said AI will replace testers. No one liked it, of course. No one liked the post because they want to keep their jobs. But okay, maybe we will do the transformation. For me, I'm ready for the transformation. I think there will be some new things for us in the next chapter, so that I will prepare myself for that. I'm not, sticking on what I'm currently doing. I try to find new ways to do. So why not having autonomous quality engineering? And in some part, maybe they need us as a human being, or if not, we will move towards a new zone. I don't know. So I'm not a futuristic person in that part. So I mostly read things that are talking within the 1 or 2 years time. I never put a lot of attention to people talking about within 10 years this will happen. How can you know it? For me,
that's true.
I'm ready for the
Yeah,
challenge.
we'll see. We cannot predict the future, but a little bit we have to prepare for that. So let's take a look at I think there was one question also, the last one. What is the biggest misconception organizations have about AI-driven quality today?
Yeah, in the Anthropic report, it says companies will not be seeing a lot of layoffs because that AI is in the picture. Because currently, when I'm talking to a company, they tell me that there is AI now. Why do we need this team? This team is we have 20 testers here. Why do I need it? Couldn't I do it 10 testers and AI or whatever? So I see it a lot. So this is, I think, a misconception in the decision makers, for the people who are leading the quality decisions in companies. They feel pressure on themselves that we need to make this team smaller. If I keep the same team, I am a dumb person. I don't know anything. So my aim should be keeping my team smaller and smaller is the misconception, if you ask me. Maybe I don't see maybe a lot of layoffs. I don't know what's your position. People are not firing their testers heavily, but they are hiring less, let me say. This is what I see. So if you hire less, then in the end, in the middle and long run, then you have a smaller team. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true.
So in the end, that is the misconception. So they feel that these people are not needed, even the experts. Instead of hiring an expert, they hire a very junior person with AI. It is cheaper.
Yeah.
So this is the misconception, if you ask me.
Yeah, great, Barış. Thank you very, very much for your insights and your thoughts about these topics. I find them very valuable for me too, and I'm happy to reflect on that. And I think I have to also to rewatch the recording because there was so much in it. If you, the audience, find this speech very valuable, you can vote up here for Barış for the Best Speaker, Best Presentation Award. And now it's time for me to say goodbye. Have a good rest of the conference. Barış, thank you very much for being here and hope you also enjoyed the time, and see you soon.
Thank you very much, Richie, for hosting it. And I would like to thank everyone who is watching it. I'm now currently in Italy, Sicily, which is a very nice sea, waiting
Good place,
for me. Sorry that I'm now moving to the beach.
Okay, that's okay. We accept that. So thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. All the best.